GLM 5.2 just dropped, and I've seen some crazy benchmarks scoring higher than Fable on Design Bench, and it's getting a lot of buzz just in general for its front-end capabilities. So what we're going to do today, we're going to get it set up in OpenCode and take it for a test spin on exactly how good is this new open source Chinese model that is a very affordable price. Speaking of which, taking a look at the coding plans that they offer, you can pay for it monthly, quarterly, or yearly. Light being for basic usage, Pro being for probably what most people want because it gives you 5 times the usage. Max is for those people who are absolutely committed to the GLM family of models. Now, you will get 10% off my referral link that I'll put in the link below, so you might as well snag that up while it's here. Once you've signed up, and this is Warp Terminal. Everyone always asks me what terminal this is. It is Warp Terminal, and I'm inside of my email outreach project, which is the thing that we're going to be changing and putting this model to the test on. We've got OpenCode installed. We're going to run OpenCode auth login, and here we're going to find Zeda AI coding plan. So if we knock back into my dashboard here, get our API key, pop that in there, we can open OpenCode and go to models, ZAI, we have GLM 5.2. I've got other tutorials as well how to get this set up on Claude Code if you want to do it on Claude Code or Pi. I'll link those below. Generally, it's the same procedure. What we're going to do is I'll open up this here and let me just show you what we've got. It was a email outreach piece of software. What's going on here? Let's get it already on the case, fixing that. It's just because it was already running. Cool. It is literally just your basic Claude email outreach. I'm going to blur some of these. I've got some templates. Basically, I can send people emails and get tracked whether they've opened the emails, and it's a basic CRM thing for contacting leads for my business. What we're going to do straight off the bat, we're going to put this better than Fable design capabilities to the test right now. So I'm going to say, redesign this app completely. However, do not change any of the structure or any of the functionality. This is just an aesthetic redesign to make it look a little bit more nice and a little bit more modern. Let's give that a whirl. And what we'll do at the end of this, we'll actually take a look at my usage and see if what sort of dent we're having. I have the basic plan because I'm not a full-blown user of GLM. I like just to run tests on it and keep an eye on things. It does say it has a 1 million context length there, but I am seeing faster generation on the Pro plan as well. So that might be something you might be interested in. Okay, we're done. Stop and start this again. Give that a refresh. So it looks like it's done a light bit of design update here. I think I'm going to push it a little bit more and say try and be a bit more creative. Just don't change the structure or functionality. Okay, and that one's done. We check back here. It's fine. I'm not sure where it's getting its stats from, that it's killing it on the design arena. One more try would be, let's go new. Create a new leads page, but go absolutely nuts on the design, redesigning it completely with your discretion, make it look clean and modern. This is the last shot I'm giving it. However, it is good to know that it's seemingly working. If we go into here, looks like the functionality is still there. So while it's doing that, I'm going to open up a new OpenCode instance out here. On the edit template page, I want to be able to drag the template options into the text field in order to place them within the template. Now this is slightly more complex than just front end stuff. It needs to be able to sync with my Notion database, which basically acts as the back end to this app. So we've got to make sure all that's working. Okay, so we have a plan here, which is pretty cool. So I answered a few questions about whether I want it to be, keep the same behavior that already exists, which is like just a simple click. But now I just want to add kind of drag and drop over the top of that. It's going to write some tests, verification, file changes. Want me to go ahead and implement? Yes. Okay, we're done. It seems to have written tests that pass as well. No problems. Refresh this page. We can now drag and drop template hooks. That's really cool. And there was no, honestly, like looking back at this, no issues whatsoever. No failed edits. Really quite clean, to be honest. I will say that this is, if we interrupt this is kind of stopped. Now I can't tell if this is the model. So what we're going to do, we're going to go models, Minimax to continue. Continue. It does seem to be potentially an OpenCode thing rather than a model thing. Another session is in the middle of creating a redesigned leads page. Pick up where they left off. Okay, GLM 5.2 is your final chance to redeem yourself. So it's created a new leads page. Let's have a look. I don't know. It is what it is. I wouldn't necessarily, I mean, there's an issue here. I wouldn't say this is groundbreaking. However, it's not exactly the most exciting, complex page. I wouldn't be the most offended with this. However, I don't think it's particularly creative. So, proof's in the pudding. Whether it's better than Fable, arguable. So, there we go. GLM 5.2. Overall, I'm pretty impressed. You know, there's word on the street now, and Uber are going to be doing this, where you use kind of frontier models for the heavy duty, the planning, the real hard challenges, and then you use an open source, cheaper, maybe even local alternative to actually doing the code itself. If we look at my usage here, give that a refresh. We used it a fair bit, a casual bit, and I'm already at 74% of my 5-hour quota. We used about 3.5 million tokens. You know, you're definitely going to want to go to the pro plan or even the max plan if you were seriously using this. However, yeah, for just light coding, if you're playing around, you can't really argue with that super cheap price of the basic plan. So all in all, really quite impressed. I would like to get into I would like to figure out a workflow where it's easy for me to flip between, say, Claude for the bigger challenges and then this for the implementation. That all being said, it's not the end of the world just to have them both open and create markdown plans from Opus. Cool. That'll do it for this one. Like I say, links below for a discount from using my affiliate link for this plan, so you might as well take advantage of that. Like, subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you to my Patreons who support me directly. Oh, and check out these other videos here about getting this set up in other coding tools as well, like Pi. I don't doubt you're going to get a very similar experience to what I did in OpenCode. Anyway, catch you in the next one. Peace out.